Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode, Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelmann, at TE Picks over on X. Of course, expert handicapper over on Picks and Parlays. Here ready to break down the Tuesday slate. We've got 15 games to go over. So we're not going to diddly-doddle around. Recapping the last slate, only one play, Cutter Gauthier anytime goal, which cashed for us over on the last show. So a nice winner there, a nice weekend off, and now ready to get back into the swing of things here. But we will quickly jump into the chat, and then we'll get started with today's slate. Dallas's slide continue? Will it continue? That's a good question. We'll talk about that later on. 1 hour show today. Let's fucking go. Yeah, basically, yeah. Minnesota Wild, Kirill Kaprizov. Yes, Kaprizov is returning to the lineup. Wild play hard for their loss. Yes. And I did. Normally, I try to. Normally, I wouldn't talk about obviously this kind of thing, but because it does involve the hockey world, rest in peace to Jesse Pierce, who was a reporter for the Wild. And of course, a podcast host that I watched on a weekly basis. Rest in peace to her and her 3 children who died in a tragic house fire. So that, of course, just happened on the weekend. The Wild responded with a win. I could see them not using that, but I could see them building off that and that tragedy, and I could see them turning things around with that. So rest in peace, Jesse. Hey, Addison, how's it going? Nice to see you. Good morning, everyone, and Terry. Good morning, Brian. How's it going? Dog Day. We'll definitely look at that. But before we start the show, before we get to today's slate, I did want to announce that Prop Hitters MLB Picks and Stats will be back. I will be breaking down opening day. Most likely going to do that a little bit earlier than usual. And when it comes to the scheduling of the show, Picks on Net is going to be at its normal time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. Now, there might be an occasional day where Prop Hitters goes first. If there's a big afternoon slate of games and there's a game I really want to break down, then I might do Prop Hitters first on the occasional day. But Picks on Net will usually be the first show, and then right after that, I'll do Prop Hitters. So double dose of Terry and player props. So super excited for baseball to be back. But before we get into today's slate, special over on Picks and Parlays right now. Get the rest of my NHL season for $259 over on the Picks and Parlays website. A link is in the description of the video. But jumping right into the very first game, we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens. Carolina minus 135. Road favorites, the Habs plus 115, home dogs, total 6.5 here in this one. Previous games between these two teams, Montreal has actually won 3 of the last 4 between these two teams. 1 over, 5 unders. So previous games between the two teams have been lower scoring games. But despite that, Montreal has scored at least 4 goals in 3 of their last 4 against the Carolina Hurricanes. So Montreal is winning games against Carolina, scoring 4 goals, but not giving up a whole lot because the total is staying under for the most part. Looking at goalies here in this game. Let's see here. Jakub Dobeš confirmed likely for Montreal. And it was supposed to be Jacob Fowler, but now I'm seeing Dobeš likely. So see what's going on with that. And Frederik Andersen is confirmed. So he'll be getting the start once again for the Carolina Hurricanes. Brandon Bussy's struggled a little bit. He has recently. So the Canes going with Frederik Andersen here in this game. When I look at this one here, a brand new player we've never talked about on the show before. No, I'm kidding. Cole Caulfield, Mr. Goal Caulfield, anytime goal, plus 150. We've talked about him quite often on the show this year, but for good reason. Red hot scoring recently, leads the Montreal Canadiens with 43 goals on the season and 208 shots on goal. He scored in 4 of his last 5 games, but really hot at home. He scored in 9 of his last 11 home games, really having success on home ice, and facing a Carolina team that's giving up 3.5 goals per game over their last 10. They're giving up a little bit more than they would probably like to heading into this point in the season. Caulfield, plus 150, good value with him here at home against the Hurricanes here today. Looking at other players on streaks heading into this game that have value, not a whole lot. Point-wise, Sebastian Aho, Juraj Slafkovsky, Cole Caulfield, all on point streaks, but all would have to be parlay pieces with the odds. Bear with me for a second as I get goal props. Other than Cole Caulfield, Juraj Slafkovsky has scored in back-to-back games, and Nick Suzuki has scored in 3 of his last 5. So Montreal players have been doing most of the scoring recently. Power play points, Juraj Slafkovsky, Cole Caulfield, and Nick Suzuki, all back-to-back games with power play points. Nikolai Ehlers, Seth Jarvis, Sebastian Aho, all back-to-back games with power play points. So both of the top power play units have had success in recent games. And then Juraj Slafkovsky has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 120. Nikolai Ehlers has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, and in 4 of his last 5 games against Montreal. Ehlers has had success assisting against the Montreal Canadiens. And then Cole Caulfield and Seth Jarvis both have an assist in 3 games in a row. Plus 125 for Caulfield, plus 110 for Seth Jarvis here in this game. Let's go to the chat here. Let's see here. What's up, Terry? I'm kind of busy in time. Big slate. These are tough. Yeah, for sure. 15-game slates are very tough. I agree. Love the Blue Jays jersey. Thank you, Dave. I had to put it up now because baseball is right around the corner. Mr. Tuesday. Yeah, Mr. Everyday. Mr. Everyday. I know some people only take him on Saturdays, but Mr. Gold Caulfield, I'm willing to take him any day of the week, depending on certain situations, of course. Carolina over 6.5, minus 110. I could see that. Lower scoring games previously between the teams, so not sure, but that was all messed up. I'm on time was what that was supposed to read. Okay, all good. The hat trick, yes, you got a free bet for the Gold Caulfield. I don't know what to use it on. You're stressing out. Too bad you can't split it up, but yeah, maybe I'll use it on him to score again since you're betting at Terry plus 150. Hey, would not talk you off it. There is another goal scorer. Well, there's 3 more goal scorers coming up, but there's another one that I like the best today. So I guess technically that would be my best bet, but we'll get to it here in a bit. So we'll get to it. Stankoven plus 395, great value there. Caulfield just 1 goal in 10 games versus the Canes at 0-5 versus Freddie. Yes, I did notice that. Not a whole lot of success against Carolina, but that's okay. Aho loves the Habs, was in on all 5 goals versus the Habs on New Year's Day. The season, 13 goals in 23 games, 6 power play goals versus Montreal. Let's see here, Aho. Yeah, he scored in 3 of his last 4 against Montreal. So yeah, he's had a little bit of success against them, but goal scoring recently has been far and few between. So not consistent enough for me personally, especially with how many games we have today. Ehlers' assist plus 150 is incredible value. Yeah, a lot of success against Montreal. Ehlers' assist, yeah, I would look at him. Let me see me. Okay, so everyone likes Ehlers today. There you go. Hi, Terry. It's a Nice Guys Betcast Day open to everyone. Nikishin Point plus 140. Awesome. I might try to make an appearance on the Betcast later tonight. Did you say Bussy's in? No. He's been struggling. So that's likely why Frederik Andersen is getting the start again today. So Svechnikov has 12 goals in 18 games versus Montreal plus 200. All right. You could arb the free bet and walk away with over $100 cash. Yeah, you could potentially do that as well if you wanted. Good day, Terry. Hey, Captain Bry. Also in of course you are. Of course you are. I'm sure you're on my other goal scoring props too, because me and Captain Bry just think alike. Wish I could bread it. Yes, yeah, some books let you. Yeah, for sure. Love me some Nikishin. Yeah, he's really good, Robert, and so young still. A lot of time to grow for him. But we'll continue on along with our next game, which is the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Philadelphia Flyers. Columbus, minus 135. Philadelphia, plus 115. And a total of 6 here in this one. Columbus 6-1-1 in the last 8 games between these two teams. They've had success against the Flyers. 3 of the last 4 going under 5.5, so lower scoring games, and 3 of the last 5 going to overtime. If I was betting a draw on today's slate, which at this moment I'm not, this is it. This would be the draw. And of course, 3 of the last 5 meetings went to overtime. I cashed on these two teams to go to overtime in their game on the 14th, so 10 days ago. Both teams have been playing very well. Obviously, Columbus is now in the playoff, in a playoff position, and the Philadelphia Flyers are not too far behind in the East. So Columbus currently holds the 3rd spot in the Metro with 85 points. Boston 86, Islanders 85, the 2 wildcard spots. And then Philly has 80 points, Ottawa 83, Detroit 84. So it's pretty close. And Philly has 2 games in hand on the Islanders, who hold the final spot, and 1 game in hand on Ottawa and Detroit. So if the Philadelphia Flyers win this game, they are right in it, playoff-wise. Columbus, as I said, currently in a playoff spot. Now, both of these teams would prefer to win this in regulation, 100%. Philly, obviously, you would like Columbus to lose in regulation to get a little bit closer to them. And then Columbus would obviously like to win this game in regulation so that they don't really have to worry about Philadelphia, because they already have other teams to worry about that are trying to catch them. So both teams would likely not want to play overtime, but neither of these teams are going to risk anything, risk losing a point either. So both of these teams desperately want that overtime point. So I think the draw is a great play here. Looking at how these two teams have done, the Columbus Blue Jackets had their winning streak snapped in their last game, a 1-0 loss against the Islanders. So not a horrible game, obviously, just couldn't find a way to score a goal. And Philadelphia has won 4 of their last 5, and they've gone to overtime in 4 of their last 5. Not in their last game, a 4-1 win against the San Jose Sharks. So when I look at this one, I really heavily lean with the draw, but have not got to it at this point in time. Player props, Travis Sanheim is a point in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 196 for the Flyers. Noah Cates is red hot, points in 3 games in a row, plus 146. And Matvei Michkov has a point in 3 games in a row as well, plus 110. Noah Cates doesn't just have a point in 3 games in a row, he's also scored in 3 games in a row, plus 450. Travis Sanheim has scored in back-to-back games, plus 1,000 for the Philadelphia Flyers. And then assist streaks, Mishkov has an assist in 3 games in a row, plus 220. Adam Fantilli assist, plus 145. Has one in 3 of his last 5 games and in 3 of his last 4 against Philadelphia. So those are the players I would look at here. Ultimately, going to pass in this game for now, but I really think the draw is the play here. Let's go see. Kane's broadcasters indicated that the net is Freddie's. Yeah. Also have Caulfield, Sivkovsky, Suzuki point parlay plus 112. Don't hate that at all. All on streaks right now. Carolina Montreal series winner 9 of the 10 covers the puck line. Okay, so no draw there. No draw there. Under 5.5 plus 113. I could see it. 100%. Looking at the Flyers, 3-2, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3 against LA, 4-1 against San Jose. Now Columbus, 2-1 against Philly, but then 5-1, 6-3, 5-2, and then 1-0. So their offense was rolling in their last 3 games, but dried up in their last game. So, yeah, I could lean with under. Yep, just beat them 2-1. Yes, he did. Brandon Bussi was the first goalie off the ice to start the day. Huh. Okay, yeah, well, keep an eye. Weird things are happening with the goalies because I saw before the show started that Fowler was supposed to start, but now I'm seeing Jakub Dobish likely. So, yeah. But I'm seeing Fred Anderson is confirmed. So, you'll have to check on what's going on with goalies here. Jets draw is my first draw pick. 6 of the last 9 games on Sunday went to overtime, so maybe we are both right, Terry. Hey, best of luck, Cole. Forster goal 4 of the last 5 at home. Okay, he's red hot. Blue Jackets were shut out in their loss. Yeah, they lost 1-0 in their last game. Kate's goal plus 475, plus point stack him, and Mishkov hasn't checked off yet, but I'm sure it's near plus 300. There you go. Yeah, those 2 guys have been hot recently, so can't talk you off it for sure. But moving on along to our third game, the Colorado Avalanche and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Colorado minus 160, Pittsburgh plus 135, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Pittsburgh 4-2-1 in the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams. They've had some success against Colorado and very high scoring games. 3 of the last 4 between these 2 teams over 7.5. So not just over 6.5, but over 7.5. Very high scoring games between these 2. Pittsburgh has been an over team for a while now. Until their last game, when I bet them to go over, it was a 5-1 loss to Carolina. So incredibly close. Their previous games, 5-4, 6-5, the 7-2 win against Colorado in Colorado, 4-3 against Utah. Colorado, though, 3-1, the 7-2 loss to Pittsburgh, 2-1, 4-1, 3-2. So the Avalanche right now are much more of an under team. Pittsburgh is a heavy over team. When I look at this one here, this Avalanche team might be looking for revenge here. These 2 teams just faced each other 8 days ago, so just over a week ago. Obviously, Colorado losing 7-2. They're not going to just forget about that. And I know a lot of players will say you just kind of flush things and move on to the next game. And that's very true for the most part. But you just lost to this team 7-2 at home. I'm sure the Avalanche remember that. And I will not be surprised if they come into this game a little bit extra motivated than usual to take care of business here. So if I was looking at the side or total here, I would look at Colorado despite the fact that Pittsburgh has had some success against them. Scott Wedgwood confirmed for the Colorado Avalanche. Artur Shivos and I probably pronounced it wrong again. I just will forever. So people are just going to have to forgive me on that. I should literally write it down and put it somewhere, but it is what it is. Goalie advantage, of course, goes to Scott Wedgwood here. No big surprise there in this one. Looking at players, player props that are on streaks. Evgeny Malkin is not playing today, dealing with something. But looking at other players, Igor Chinnikov has been red hot points in 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10, plus 106. Here, goal streaks. Brian Rust has had scored in 3 of his last 5 games, and also has had success against the Avalanche, 4 of his last 7 overall. But scores more in Colorado for some reason. So not as much success at home against Colorado. Igor Chinnikov has scored in back-to-back games. And then assist streaks, Crosby, 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 105. Brian Rust assist, back-to-back games. He has an assist in 5 of his last 6 against Colorado. So Brian Rust, really productive against the Avalanche. Here, and then that's basically about it here in this game. I'll jump to the chat here. Let's see. Over 6.5, minus 115. Yeah, I can see that. The Penguins have been an over team. Yeah, 7-2. Beat them 7-2. So if leading after the first period, 24-4. Okay. NM is on absolute fire. Oh, Nathan McKinnon? Yeah, I'd be there. I'm thinking, who is he talking about now? Yeah. Crosby, Rust, point parlay. Not a bad look at all, Copper Bry. Not a bad look. Malkin out, yes. Just think of the Beatles. She loves you. Yeah. She lost. And I tried. But it is what it is. Crosby, Natchez, point parlay seems like a banger. Yeah, if you want to have a guy in each team, when you do that, you get like if you put obviously Crosby and Rust together, you're going to get plus money likely. But if you put a Colorado player and a Pittsburgh player together, you really get much better value. So yeah, I can agree with that, especially if you do like goals here in this game. But we're moving on along to our next game, the Ottawa Senators and the Detroit Red Wings. What an important game this is for playoff positioning. Ottawa Senators plus 105 road dogs. Detroit minus 125 home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this one. Thank you to the Senators for cashing my Ottawa in regulation play last night. Got a little bit closer than I would have liked there in the third period, but hey, 2-1 winner. I'll take it. Now Ottawa playing in Detroit, second night of a back-to-back, and unfortunately Ottawa is ravished by defense injuries. Already without Sanderson, now without Shabbat, and I believe there's a couple other guys as well. Ottawa is dealing with major injuries right now. And now they're coming to play this Detroit team who they had a lot of success against until this year. So far, the Red Wings have won all 3 meetings. They're looking to try to complete the sweep over the Senators. 3-0 against them this year. 3 of the last 4 going over 6.5. Back-to-back games going to overtime between these two teams, and 3 of the last 4 between these two teams in Detroit have gone to overtime. Don't be surprised if we do see another draw here. My only concern is that this Ottawa Senator, this is a really bad spot for the Senators team, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get this game to overtime. I feel like Detroit should be really motivated here. First of all, they're outside of a playoff spot when they've been in a playoff spot for a majority of the season. 84 points, 1 point behind the Islanders. Ottawa is 83, 1 point behind them. So both of these two teams trying to make the playoffs, 1 point, 2 points out of a playoff spot. This game is incredibly important. So other teams do not want to see overtime at all. Teams like Philly and Islanders and Boston and Columbus, they don't want to see overtime in this game, but I could see it. I could see it here in this one. Looking at players, Dylan Larkin may be making his return here in this game. I believe he's a game time decision. So that would, again, be a huge boost to the Detroit Red Wings. Looking at guys and streaks, Claude Giroux has a point in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 165. He's got a lot of value. For Detroit, Andrew Kopp is a point 4 games in a row, plus 130. Jordan Spence has a point in 4 of his last 5 games for the Senators, plus 125. And a point in 3 games in a row as well for Jordan Spence. But with all the injuries on the defense for Detroit, don't be surprised if Jordan Spence gets a more ice time So Jordan Spence point at plus 125, I think has a lot of value here in this one. Shane Pinto has a point in 3 games in a row, plus 130. He's got some value. Goal streaks, Warren Foegele has scored in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. He's plus 500. So excellent value with Warren Foegele here tonight. Alex DeBrincat has scored in back-to-back games for the Detroit Red Wings. Then assists, Jordan Spence assist, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 170. So if you want bigger plus money, I personally, if the assist is plus 170 and the point is plus 125, I personally would just go with the point. But that's just me. Patrick Kane point assists in 3 of his last 5, plus 136, and DeBrincat 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 120 here in this one. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's see here. Terry is over there grinning like his shipment of Blue Chew came in. I don't know. Am I in a good mood? That's good then. Wings minus 117. There you go. You got a good price, Captain Bry. Senators Road Dogs off a win, not good. Yeah, I can see that. Over City. Yeah, I can agree with that as well. 3 of the last 4 over 6.5. Avoiding this game completely, too much like playoff hockey. I could agree with that. Batherson 5 goals in 6 games versus Gibson, plus 225. Thank you, Robert, for reminding me so I don't forget about goalies here in this game. John Gibson confirmed for the Detroit Red Wings. Linus Ullmark unconfirmed, but it should be Ullmark here on the second night of a back-to-back. And yes, JD agrees with you, Robert. I took the Wings. The Sens defense is decimated. Yeah, they're on their second night of a back-to-back, and this is their 7th game in 11 days. I really lean with Detroit. I just minus 125. I think it's minus 130 in most spots, minus 135 as well. So I didn't end up getting to it. But Ottawa's allowed 9 shots. Yeah, 9 shots on goal yesterday. Yet they only won by 1 goal. Come on, Ottawa, making me sweat. Spence has great value and should be on power play 1. He's plus 1,000 for an anytime goal. Worth a sprinkle. I don't hate it at all, JD. I don't hate it. I probably should get to his point prop. Wings team total over. You could go that way. I don't really love Detroit's offense recently, but if Dylan Larkin does come back, that could help. That would obviously help them. But when I look at this, I don't want to fade either of these teams right now. I know it's a really bad spot for Ottawa, but what's their record on a back-to-back? 6-5. Thank you, JD. Thank you. Boog's laughing. Thank you, JD. Minus 118. Great value there. Crazy pattern with Larkin and Tkachuk. They both score in the same game and then not the next. Okay, interesting. Has anyone seen confirmed lines for Detroit? Curious where Kopp and Confer wind up. Yeah, that's of course great. With if we do see Larkin return, obviously that would change the lines. Yeah, so you might not find out till game time, Madison. No Stutz. He's playing, yeah, as far as I know, but no, I'm not betting on him, no. Larkin Raymond points plus 105. Good value. Red Wings not in good form. Give me the Sens. Yes, but like we said, it's a really bad spot for Ottawa, and Ottawa has lost all 3 games against Detroit this year. Chicago starting Anton Friendel. That's going to be one of the games we talk about in the rest of the games on the slate segment. But yeah, Anton Friendel props have a great value on the top line against the backup goalie for the Islanders. So yeah, definitely great value there for him. But on to our next game here, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. Toronto, plus 160. Road Dogs, Boston, minus 190, home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Looking at goalies here in this one, Anthony Stolarz confirmed for Toronto, and Jeremy Swayman confirmed for the Boston Bruins heading into this one. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, Boston, 4-2-1 in the last 7 meetings. they've had some success recently against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 5 of the last 6 meetings going over 6.5, and 4 consecutive games between the two teams going over 7.5. So very, very high scoring games between these two teams. Boston has already won both games this year, 5-3. Boston has also scored at least 4 goals in 5 of the last 6 games against Toronto. So Boston Bruins, of course, like to play the Toronto Maple Leafs. We all know that for how many years now. Leafs fans, of course, can tell you that. Anyone that's seen a Game 7 between Boston and Toronto, they know that Boston likes to face Toronto, especially with Toronto in the situation they are this year. They're just a complete mess. And you know what? When the season started, I was low on the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I was really low on Boston. I kind of had them in separate spots. Boston right near the bottom, Toronto trying to make a playoff spot, but it's completely the opposite here in this game. Toronto's lost 4 of their last 5, 3 games in a row. Boston back-to-back wins here. And the previous games when they were losing on the road, they got it to overtime at least. So Boston, again, hold the top wild card spot with 86 points, but could easily find themselves third in the Atlantic with a win and Montreal loss. So it's still very close for where Boston's going to finish out. For me here, my favorite prop of the day, so this would be my best bet, is David Pastrnak. Anytime goal plus 105 here in this one. Why do I like Pastrnak anytime goal? Well, comes into this game having scored in 3 of his last 4 games and 5 of his last 8. So he's red hot right now at scoring goals. And does he love to face? So if Boston likes to face Toronto, Pastrnak really loves to face Toronto. He has scored in 4 games against Toronto, or 4 consecutive games against the Leafs. Multiple games in 3 of those 4 games. He scored 2 goals. So it's not just scoring 1, he's scoring 2 on most games against Toronto. And at home, even more success. 8 of his last 10 home games against Toronto, he's found the back of the net. And he's recorded at least 4 shots on goal in 10 straight games against Toronto and 15 of the last 16. Pastrnak loves facing the Leafs. The Leafs a total mess right now. Stolar's in net. He's not playing well at all recently, and especially this year. So give me Pastrnak. I know plus 105, not great value. I know it's minus 105 in some other spots. I would take it at plus 105, minus 105, minus 110, minus 115. Once you get to minus 120, then I might want to stay off. But Pastrnak against the Leafs. Give me Pastrnak anytime goal. Here in this one, I think Boston money line is a great parlay piece. Boston team total over as well, and the full game over is a good look as well here in this one. Victor Arvidsson points in 4 of his last 5 games plus 105. Same thing with Pavel Zacha, minus 118. Pastrnak over 1.5 points plus 118. 3 of his last 5 games heading into this one. Goal streaks, Pastrnak, of course, as I mentioned. John Tavares has scored in back-to-back games for Toronto. And then assist streaks, Pastrnak 3 games in a row with an assist, but minus 165, no value there. Arvidsson 4 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 230 here in this game. But let's go see here. Bruins money line is a parlay piece. I completely agree. Finney, Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Confer, Kane, Casper, Kopp, Appleton, JVR, Dries, Perron. Thank you, JD. Pasta, Bruins puck line over. I like it. I like it. Pastrnak, McAvoy, Nylander point parlay plus 128. Okay, interesting. Captain Bryant. Bruins / Ducks money line parlay plus 137. All right, I like it. Swayman 6-1-1 with a 934 save percentage this month. Yeah, he's on fire right now. Might sprinkle past to 2 goals plus 550. I don't hate it at all. As I said, 3 of his last 4 games against Toronto, he's got 2. Nice, 5 goals in 9 games against Swayman, plus 250. All right. McAvoy point would have to be a parlay piece, Kelly, for me personally, the value odds-wise. But, yeah, not a bad look. Of course, Captain Brian. Oh, plus 110. I like it. Captain Brian. Interesting. Thank you. Also got Pasternak 2 goals, plus 550, and the Bruins' first goal, plus 440. He scored the Bruins' first goal of the game in 3 of the last 4. Beautiful. Because I don't like to wait until the third period to cash an anytime goal prop. It's much better to cash in that first period than have to wait till the second or third. So, sounds good to me. But on to our next game, the Minnesota Wild and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Wild, plus 145, road dogs. Tampa Bay, minus 170, home favorites, and a total 6.5 here in this one. The Wild have won 3 games in a row between the two teams. The Wild swept Tampa last year, and then they won the first meeting between the two teams, which was not too long ago here in March. Bear with me for a second, and I'll get exactly the date. It was a 5-1 win for the Wild on March 3rd. The Wild coming off a 2-1 overtime win against the Dallas Stars in their last game, a game where I bet against the Wild, and I trusted the Dallas Stars to be able to beat the Wild without Kaprizov, without Ek, but the Dallas Stars were not able to beat the Wild without Kaprizov and without Ek, and the Wild got the win. Now, Kaprizov and Ek are both back, so that's great news, obviously, for the Wild here in this spot. And it's great news for people that were betting on the Wild to win this game, or the Wild to team total, or Kaprizov props. Because Kaprizov really likes to play against Vasilevsky and Kucherov. He has scored a goal in 5 of his last 6 games against Tampa Bay. 3 times he scored 2 goals. So hasn't had much trouble against Vasilevsky. Now, I'm sure JD would have the splits. I'm sure he's probably faced Johansson as well during that stretch. But I'm sure some of those goals are definitely against Vasilevsky as well. Of course, Vasilevsky and Kucherov, both on the Lightning, makes sense. Kaprizov would like to play his best game against them. Another Russian playing really well right now, Vladimir Tarasenko for the Wild, of course. Getting the game winner in overtime. Dallas leaving him completely alone in front of the net, wide open. No surprise he scores there. He scored in 3 of his last 4 games, plus 375. So if I'm looking at props here, Tarasenko plus 375, Kaprizov plus 155 here in this one. Assist streaks, Kucherov, but there's no way to bet that. Minus 248 for an assist for Kucherov. So definitely no value there here in this game. Let's see here. Nyes is dealing with a leg injury, so be cautious about betting him to score. Okay, good info, Adam. Appreciate it. Ek plus Wild. I can see it. Kaprizov on a 3-game streak, scoring last goal in meetings with Tampa Bay, plus 1,200. Okay. Kaprizov 3 goals and 6 versus Vasi. Okay, so 0 goals in the 1 game versus Johansson. Okay, so who is he facing in net where he got all those goals then? I'm confused, but that's okay. And yes, very sad, Kelly. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Very, very sad. And had I known that, I would not have bet Dallas on Saturday. Definitely not. We'll move on along to our next game, which is the New Jersey Devils and the Dallas Stars. New Jersey, plus 145, road dogs. Dallas, minus 170, home favorites, and a total of 5.5. Quickly going back to this one, goalies. Philip Gustafsson confirmed. Andrei Vasilevsky was not confirmed. Let's see if he is now. No, he's not been confirmed. And I don't think that Tampa plays tomorrow, but should be Vasilevsky here. Back to this one here. I'll get to goalies right away in this one so I don't forget. Do we have goalies here? Jake Allen likely New Jersey. Jake Oninger likely for the Dallas Stars. How do these two teams do against each other? Dallas has won 4 of the last 5 between the two teams. 3 overs and technically with 5.5. 4 overs, 1 under to a total of 5.5. Usually we see higher scoring games between these two teams. And looking at both teams as of late, the New Jersey Devils coming off a 2-1 loss to Washington, but their previous 4 games, 6-3, 4-3, 6-4, 5-4, very high scoring games. Dallas has been 3 unders in a row. 2-1 shootout win against Colorado, 2-1 overtime loss to the Wild, and then a 3-2 loss to Vegas in their last game. So the Stars offense, the Stars were absolutely red hot. And now they've lost 3 of 4. So all of a sudden, things can change quickly. Things can change quickly in the NHL. But despite Dallas kind of struggling the last few games, give me Wyatt Johnston anytime goal, plus 140 here in this one. Johnston has scored in 8 of his last 13 games and now tied with Jason Robertson for the team lead in goals with 38 goals on the season. Johnston's quietly been a very, very productive for the Stars this year. And especially with how Jason Robertson started the season, it's shocking to see that Johnston is tied in goals with him. Johnston's also scored a lot at home. 4 consecutive home games, 10 of his last 15 at home. And he's had a lot of success against the Devils. He scored in 4 of his last 5 games against New Jersey and back-to-back games at home against the New Jersey Devils. So Johnston likes to play New Jersey. He's red hot right now. Dallas definitely looking to get out of this little funk they're in. So I will take Wyatt Johnston, anytime goal here in this one. Looking at point props with value here, not a whole lot point-wise. Jesper Bratt has scored in 3 games in a row for New Jersey, plus 340. He's got some value. Jack Hughes, 3 of his last 5, plus 175 with a goal. And then assist streak with value, Miro Heiskanen, minus 130, so not a whole lot of value there when it comes to assists here in this one. But we'll jump into the chat here. Kaprizov probably scored empty netters. Okay, there we go, Robert. That's probably it. That makes sense. Minnesota, Tampa Bay, TNT game. There we go. They still count. They still count. Dallas over 5.5, minus 118. You definitely got good value there, minus 130 now. Devils team total under 2.5 for Captain Bry, minus 110. Okay, interesting. 3 of Kaprizov's last 4 goals versus Tampa were into an empty net. Okay, they still count. They still count. You still win your prop. They still add to his goal total. So, some people would say, "Oh, it's not a real goal. It wasn't against a goalie." But hey, the books don't care about that. I like Minnesota Tampa Bay first period under plus 130, but don't tell Santa. Okay, won't tell Santa. Yeah, Santa's definitely involved with this game for sure. J-Rob, 8 goals in 10 games versus Markstrom. All right. Credit Benny the Jet. All right. I can't bet on Dallas again. Yeah, they're in a little funk right now, but JD likes Wyatt Johnston. Why? Why would you like Wyatt Johnston? No, I'm kidding. 4 goals in 7 games versus New Jersey, 4 goals in last 6 and 6 and 10 overall, and goals in 4 straight at home. Yeah. Bet Johnston power play point if you go on him. The Devils penalty kill is pretty good, so no. Your Dallas pick over the weekend against Wild screwed my parlay, Terry. Bad Wild fan. Hey, I'm sorry, Cole. I'm sorry. The Stars should have beat the Wild. They should have beat them. There's no. Well, of course, there is other reasons, but I was unaware of those. But empty netters, yeah. Hey, they still count. Timo Meier, 4 goals in 6 games versus Under. All right, all right. No, it's my fault. We should auto bet the team losing their superstar. Yeah, but they'd already been without Kaprizov for a game or two. It's just Dallas left Tarasenko alone in overtime. That's what happened. You can't do that. Brad Jack used point parlay to hedge my Devils team total under 2.5. Okay. And hey, you could still win both, Captain Brian. Tarasenko goal, great value for sure. Duchesne point, Heiskanen assist, plus 153. Duchesne 26 points in 26 games versus New Jersey. All right, I like it. But we'll move on along to our next game, the San Jose Sharks and the Nashville Predators. The Sharks plus 120 road dogs, Nashville minus 140 home favorites, total of 6.5 here in this one. If you told me at the beginning of the season that at the end of March I'd be breaking down a Sharks and Predators game and it would be important for the playoff race, I probably would have told you you're wrong. There's definitely no way that at the end of March, a game between San Jose and Nashville has playoff implications, but it does here for both teams. Looking at the standings as we head into this game, Nashville has won 4 games in a row and have got themselves into the final wild card spot at this moment. 2 points behind LA, 4 points ahead of the Seattle and 5 points ahead of the Sharks. Now, the Sharks have lost 4 games in a row, all in regulation. That's what's kind of put them down here, 5 points. But they do have 2 games in hand over Nashville. So they win those 2 games in hand, 1 point behind. So they're right back into the race. Unfortunately, though, for the San Jose Sharks, this is the last team that they want to face. And this is probably the last team that they want to be fighting for a playoff spot with because the Nashville Predators have absolutely dominated the San Jose Sharks for a long time now. Nashville, 14-0-1. 14 wins, no regulation losses, 1 overtime loss in the last 15 games between these teams. 4-1-2 to a total of 6, so 4 overs for a total of 6.5, 4 overs, 3 unders. Nashville has scored at least 4 goals in 6 of their last 7 against the Sharks, and they've scored 5 or more goals in 5 of their last 7 games against the Sharks. So for whatever reason, Nashville completely dominates the Sharks team. Now, the Sharks, of course, have been a rebuilding team. They are going to end that streak against Nashville eventually. Now, these teams are just facing each other for the first time. They have 3 meetings coming up here. So these 3 games are going to be incredibly important for both teams. I do think Nashville wins this game. The Sharks are just not playing well right now. They've lost 4 games in a row. This Nashville team has won 4 games in a row. So I do like the Predators money line as a parlay piece. I would parlay them with Boston if you were looking for a 2-teamer. I think Nashville money line, Boston money line is a good parlay piece. So as I said, I do believe the Sharks will eventually end the losing streak here to Nashville, but don't think it's quite this point in time. Next year is going to be a really tough year for past history with the Sharks because I really think if the Sharks aren't able to get to the playoffs this year, I really think next year they're going to take an even bigger step forward here. But my play is Philip Forsberg, anytime goal plus 150 here in this game. Forsberg has scored a goal in 3 of his last 4 games. He leads Nashville in shots on goal, but is second in goals scored. Steven Stamkos is having a great year. So Forsberg, who usually is the number 1 goal scorer, finds himself in second right now. But boy, oh boy, has Forsberg been good at home. He scored a goal in 6 of his last 7 home games. And He scored a goal in 6 of the last 7 games against the San Jose Sharks. And like David Pastrnak, he likes to shoot the puck a lot against his opponent he's facing today. He is averaging 4.43 shots on goal per game over his last 7 against the Sharks. So Philip Forsberg, anytime goal here in this game. And the fact he is red hot right now. He had been kind of on a cold streak there scoring-wise, goal-wise, but now he's red hot, facing one of his favorite teams to play against. Plus 150, give me Forsberg. Anytime goal here in this one. Point props with value. Jonathan Marchessault points in 3 of his last 5, minus 118, heading into this game. Obviously, Forsberg on the goal streak. Stamkos has scored in back-to-back games. Don't be surprised if he scores as well tonight. Forsberg assist 4 games in a row. So he's red hot. Goal and assist recently. Plus 107 for an assist for him. Marchessault, 3 of his last 5, plus 167 for an assist here in this game. Let's see here. I'm with West Coast. I'm doing a round robin with Ducks Avs Stars tonight. Best of luck, GSF. Preds over 6.5, minus 105. Preds team total over 3.5, plus 103. I like both. Terry, I'm counting on you to find me a prop, or it's a pass for me. Well, there's definitely a prop I like in this game. I always point the wrong way. But Preds money line is a parlay piece. I agree, Robert. I agree. Jack Hughes, pre-Madonna crying about not getting the goal. Yeah. Dallas 2-1 correct score. There you go. He needs to try and pick up the puck after the game if he cared. Yeah, I could have done that. I like the Preds here. They're fine. Yeah, they are. They're finding their swagger right now. I might have to put the Preds in a money line parlay. I don't hate it at all. Graf, goal, 3 of the last 4 on the road. Okay. So Graf's been better on the road. Thank you, Terry, right? Stamkos, plus 160. Yes, not a bad look. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Yeah, he's heating up. Forsberg, there you go. Love to hear it. Captain Bry. Yossi. He's been okay recently, but Frendell, no point, is plus 100 at DK. Yes point, plus 115. I bet MGM. There's your ARB. Wow. Okay. I haven't bet anything Preds all year, but might start tonight. They look strong, and San Jose is a weak team that gives up goals. I agree, Hal. Obviously, Nashville's not been a team that I run to the window to bet all the time for sure either. But yeah, they're heating up at the right time, and this is their favorite opponent, and obviously Forsberg's favorite opponent as well. Nashville is 11-5 as a home favorite, and 4-10 as a home dog. They've given up 2 goals or less in 10 of their last 11 wins as a home favorite. Give me San Jose team total under 3. Okay. Forsberg, plus 150, 15-29 versus San Jose, 17-26 versus San Jose for Stamkos. All right. Preds and Reg. Yeah, if you didn't want to use Preds money line as a parlay piece, I would either take Preds in Reg or take Preds team total over. Yeah. And JD is doing kind of the same thing here, but going national team total over 3.5 and the puck line plus 170. I don't hate it at all. Do not hate it at all. But 2 more games, and then the rest of the games in the slate segment, which is 5, because we have a 15-game slate, because there's no way any of these games could have been played yesterday when we had 1 or tomorrow when we have 2. Not me bitching about the NHL schedule makers, but yes, that's exactly what happened. Edmonton, plus 115, road dogs. Utah, minus 135, home favorites. Total of 6.5 here in this one. Looking at this game here, Edmonton, I've never lost to the Utah Mammoth. 4-0-0 against them since Utah relocated from Arizona. And boy, oh boy, do these two teams like to play high-scoring games. 10 of the last 12 between these teams, of course, going back to when Utah was Arizona, 10 of the last 12 have gone over 6.5. So very, very high-scoring games between these two teams in the past. And I do lean with the over here at 6.5. The first game between the two teams this year, Edmonton won 6-3. But Edmonton was a complete over team But since the Draisaitl injury, they've kind of cooled off here. They've gone under 5.5 in 3 of their last 5, so 3 unders. Then the over against San Jose 5-3, and the over against Tampa 5-2. Utah's gone over 6.5 in 3 of their last 5. Their 2 unders were against Vegas and Anaheim. So I do lean with the over here. I do think we get goals here between these two teams. Just haven't pulled the trigger on the over yet here today. Point streaks in this game, and one of the reasons why is I don't love the player streaks here in this game. Not a lot of guys on streaks. Lawson Krause a point in 3 of his last 5, plus 115. Matt Savoy, 3 of his last 5, plus 120. Goal streaks, nobody right now on any kind of goal streak. No power play point streaks. And assist streaks, Bouchard, 3 of his last 5 games with an assist, which isn't that consistent, and is minus 145, no value. Mikhail Sergachev, 3 of his last 5 games with an assist, plus 115 here in this game. So, do think we get goals. I wouldn't talk anyone off taking the over, but think I'm going to stay off. The over here in this one. When is Rantanen back for Dallas? I believe not tonight. I believe in their next game. But soon, very soon. Oilers money line plus 115 and the over minus 118. McDavid 6 goals in 6 games against Pamelka plus 110. All right, I like it. Taking a look here at goalies. No confirmed goalies yet. Tristan Jarry unconfirmed. Corral, Pamelka unconfirmed here in this one. Anders Lee got a score tonight, especially against Soderblom. Soderblom. Yeah, we'll talk about that game at the rest of the games on the slate segment. But first, Anaheim and the Vancouver Canucks. Anaheim minus 185, road favorites. The Canucks plus 155, home dogs, a total 6.5 here in this one. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, it's very one-sided. The Vancouver Canucks 12-1 in the last 13 games between these two teams. They've had Anaheim's number, including both games this year. So despite Anaheim being an improved team this year and the Vancouver Canucks having one of their worst seasons in, I think, a long time, Canucks won the first meeting in Anaheim 5-4 and then shut the Ducks out in the second meeting 2-0 at home. Anaheim should win this game, but I do not like what I've seen from them against the Vancouver Canucks. And obviously you would have to go with Anaheim on the puck line here in this game, which I'm just not comfortable with doing. Looking at their last game was a 6-5 overtime win against Buffalo, 4-1 win against Utah, 3-2 overtime loss, 4-3 win against Montreal, 2-0 shutout loss to Ottawa. So I don't like the side here in this game. If anything, I kind of lean with the Vancouver Canucks, but not enough to put my money on it. Marco Rossi is the hottest player on either team in this one. A point in 5 games in a row, 7 of his last 10, minus 105. I'm really happy to see it for Vancouver Canucks fans. I still really like Rossi, but I hope he does really well for you guys. And he is right now. For sure. Let's see here. Goal streaks. Mikael Granlund, back-to-back games, plus 340. Marco Rossi, 3 of his last 5. Cutter Gauthier, 3 of his last 5 with a goal. And assist streaks. Marco Rossi, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 167. Brock Besser, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 182, with an assist here in this game. Logan Cooley, over half a point, plus 112, points in 5 straight against Edmonton. There you go. He doesn't want to get injured at the Islanders game. There you go. Rossi. There you go, Rich. Something to look forward to is Rossi. A Ducks team total over 3.5, minus 122 last night. All right. Over 6.5, minus 120. There you go. Worst home season record in franchise history. Woe is us. Well, maybe here's a game where you can get a win because you guys have owned the Ducks. Own the Ducks. Ducks money line, minus 175. Parlay, love the Ducks here. They should win. They should win this game. They should. But I'm staying away. Ross Colton back for the Avs tonight versus the Pens. Okay. Nice to hear, GSF. I'm okay with the Ducks in the money line with Dostal, Net, Lankinen for the Ducks not having a good year. Yeah, as I said, they should win this game. They should win this game. We'll see if they can get it done. Other games on the slate that I did not break down on today's slate, the Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Islanders. The Islanders 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings between the two teams. 3 of the last 5 going over. 6.5. Goalies for this game. Arvid Soderblom likely for Chicago. David Rittich confirmed for the Islanders because Ilya Sorokin has been playing so much hockey recently. It's very smart for the Islanders to give him a rest. He cannot afford to have him get injured. So Rittich playing this game against the Hawks. And of course, San Jose. Chicago's third overall pick here in making his debut here tonight, Frondell. So we'll see if he can get a point. I'm not seeing on the app I use him listed, but I think somebody posted he was plus 100 for a point. So if your book has his props, I would look at him. Obviously, top line, making his NHL debut, and against backup goalie for the Islanders. And of course, the Islanders playing a lot of hockey right now, so I could see him finding back of the net or getting a point at least here in his NHL debut. Point wise, not a lot of streaks. Same thing with goal and assists. Ryan Green, Anders Lee, both assists in back-to-back games, but only 2 of their last 5. So really not a lot of consistency at all between the Hawks and the Islanders players right now. Seattle and Florida. Seattle 6-2-1 all-time against the Florida Panthers. 4 of the last 5 meetings going under 5.5. So a lot of low-scoring games. Seattle was in a playoff spot, but they're 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row in regulation. Finding their playoff hopes disappearing, but they are facing a very, very injured Florida Panthers team with a lot of injuries right now. This should be a smash spot for Seattle. If they come here motivated, they should definitely be able to find a way to win this game. I just really don't like what I've seen from them recently, so ultimately going to stay off. Looking at players between Seattle and Florida that have value. Capo Caco, points in 3 of 5, plus 158. Eeli Tolvanen, points in 3 games in a row, plus 155. Assist streaks. Capo Caco and Eeli Tolvanen, both assists in 3 of their last 5. Plus 283 for Caco, plus 305 for Tolvanen. And Brandon Montour also has an assist in 3 of his last 5 games, plus 253 here tonight. Vegas and Winnipeg. Vegas 10-1 in the last 11 games between the two teams, including their most recent playoff series. 3 of the last 5 going under 5.5. 2 of the last 3 meetings going to overtime. Here between these two teams, of the first meeting was a 4-3 overtime win for the Golden Knights, who were a heavy overtime team, have not gone to overtime recently, but Winnipeg has. 3 of their last 4 games have gone to a shootout. So Winnipeg's playing close games right now. Vegas, not so much. Vegas coming in here, snapping their 3-game losing streak, where they scored 1 goal in those 3 games with a 3-2 win against Dallas in their last game. No real opinion here. I don't want to back either of these teams right now. Vegas just not playing well enough for me this season, so don't really want to back them. Washington and St. Louis almost broke this down game as a single game, but decided not to. Washington 3-2 in the last 5 meetings, 7 of the last 8 going over 6.5. So very, very high scoring games and consistent high scoring games between Washington and St. Louis. But if you look at what both teams are doing recently, Washington 2-1, 3-2, 4-1, 2-1, 3-2. St. Louis 3-1, 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 3-1. Both of these teams are absolute under teams right now, but very heavy over history. So we'll see who wins out. Recent play or past history. We'll see who gets the win. Stat-wise, and then the final game, LA and Calgary. Calgary 6-2 in the last 8 meetings between the two teams. A lot of low-scoring games for the total, which I'm guessing is at a 5.5. 5 unders, 1 over. The 1 over was finished with 6 goals. So usually very low-scoring games between LA and Calgary. Both meetings this year, 2-1 and 2-0 games. So very low-scoring. And I almost did it. I almost bet an under. Very close to betting the under here. But LA 6-4, 4-3, 4-3, 4-1, 4-1 in their last 5 games. They are not playing low-scoring hockey right now. They're giving up way too many goals. They've given up 4 in 4 of their last 5 games. Calgary, more unders, but does have a 5-2 loss and a 4-3 overtime win in their last game. So ultimately, that's enough to keep me off the under. Plus, I just don't really like betting unders, but was very close to. Was very close to betting the under here in that game. But that is it. Let's go and run through the chat quickly, and then we'll finish off the show with you on Rossi. Grabbed him over 1.5 points, plus 430. I like it. Islanders should win, but hard to play at that price. The Hawks gives team fits. There we go. Be right back and go buy 7 TVs for tonight. Yeah, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Boa scored in each of his last 4 games as an Islander versus Columbus. All right, I like it. Bedard goal in 3 of the last 4 on the road. All right. Always good when you can score on the road. Thanks for the show, Terry. You absolute legend. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. Terry, do you have an MLB show as well? Sorry, I'm new to your channel, but love the content so far. Thank you. No need to be sorry at all. And yes, at the beginning of the show, I announced Prop Hitters is returning. Same layout as Picks on Net, except I don't break down every game. I just break down specific games that I like. A little bit different than the NHL. Good luck to everyone. You too, Mixter. The under 5.5 Caps and Blues. All right. Interesting, Captain Bry. Seattle moneyline Bob over saves. Capo Caco has 8 points in his last 10 games and 12 points in 11 career games versus the Panthers. Point prop plus 150. Yeah, he's red hot right now. Is McCann out? I believe so, yes. I believe so. Seattle first goal and the first goal in the first period. They've scored the first goal against Florida 6 straight and 5 times. It was a first period goal. All right, I like it. And that was against much better Panthers teams as well. Much better Panthers teams. Vegas moneyline Barbashev point. All right. He's day-to-day. Would Kako benefit here? I'd have to look at the lines. Mark Stone loves facing his hometown team. 5 goals in 9 games versus Hellebuck. Kyle Connor, 12 goals, 21 games versus Vegas. All right, I like it. Ovechkin has 22 goals, 17 assists in 29 games against the Blues. Okay, one of the reasons why high-scoring games between them. There you go. JD, right with you on that. Does not have a goal versus Hoffer in the 3 games he's faced him. Okay, so he's going to be really motivated. Under 5.5 Kings and Flames. I lean that way. I do. Kopitar Kempe point parlay. Not a bad look. Rich agrees. Beauvillier has scored at least 1 goal in each of his last 4 appearances against the Blues. He hasn't played them much, though, and it was 3 different teams, Hawks, Preds, and Caps. Wow. So, yeah, he likes to face them then. Doesn't matter what team he plays for. Crazy stat, Flames are 46-0 when scoring 4+ goals. Wow. That is a crazy stat. More 3+ shots on goal minus 110. I'm reading JD's mail. Apparently. What about Flyers, player props, or a pick of a side? Oof, the draw. I think that game goes to overtime. And then whoever gets that lucky bounce in overtime, I would lean with Columbus, though, just with how well they're playing right now. So, and player props, not a lot. Really great right now. Best bet, I stopped doing the best bet segment, but David Pastrnak, anytime goal, plus 105. That's my favorite bet. But I like all 4 goal scorer props I gave out on today's show. And if you wanted to parlay them together, sprinkle a little bit, it could happen. But yeah, Pastrnak, my best bet. Tip it 4+ shots on goal, plus 105. Okay, there you go. And no, it's actually not 46-0. It's actually 55-0. Wow. All right. Well, we'll see if the Flames can, and that probably goes back quite a few years because they don't score 4 goals that often. That's for sure. But thank you guys for watching. Best of luck today. We'll see you guys on the next show. I do believe I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow. Only 2 games, so quick rundown, but we should be good for a show tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Best of luck on your bets tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Best of luck tonight.